Hi, and thanks for joining us here at Rose Quartz Mediumship podcast, where we simply adore anything and everything healing and metaphysically based. I was an overachiever for, all of my life, really for as long as I can remember. I graduated in the top 10% of my class in high school. I graduated with a 4.0 when I graduated with my doctorate. I checked all the boxes. Right out of school, I got a job, I climbed a ladder, I got a second job, climbed that ladder, got another job, climbed that ladder. I was obsessed with being the best version of me. And on paper, that might look okay. But in reality, it is an anxiety pattern of my nervous system that I was running. Ever since I was a small child, I was horrible at watching any form of TV. And again, on paper, that sounds great. When people ask me, have you seen this movie or have you seen that movie? Or they're talking about things that are going on TV, I don't know what they're talking about. And for so many people, they're like, yeah, that's great. I actually don't want to be somebody who watches TV or movies. But the reality is that I actually can't relax for long enough to watch TV or a movie. I am in constant motion. I'm always doing something. I'm always thinking something. I'm always exploring something. I'm always producing in some capacity. And it was exhausting. It was really, really exhausting. And there have been phases of my life where people celebrated that expression of me. And there have been many phases of my life where I celebrated that part of me. I would almost brag about it until I realized that it wasn't healthy and that I didn't want to live like that anymore. I wanted to be able to slow down and relax and be present with the people who are in my reality who I love. And I wanted to be present with the experiences that I enjoy. And I wanted to be present with myself, my emotions, the things that I want out of this human experience that are not climbing ladders and checking boxes. And I just wanted to share this because I think sometimes when people think about an anxiety disorder or an anxiety pattern of the nervous system, they're thinking about more classic signs. But an anxiety disorder can also be an overproducer. It can be somebody who's an overachiever. It can be somebody who always has to get the A's, or who always wants to climb the ladders, or who always does the best at work. And again, it's something that our culture can celebrate, but it doesn't mean that it's healthy. Those versions of me that were climbing all of the ladders and checking all of the boxes and getting the A's, they weren't necessarily the most healthy versions of me. And when I learned what regulation really felt like, when I learned what presence really looked like and felt like and tasted like and sounded like, I was sad for the version of me who had missed it for all of those years. I was sad that I was so caught in a mind-based place that I couldn't be present with the reality that I was creating. Because I was always thinking about the next thing, or the next box, or the next ladder, or the next step. And what I was missing was the step that I was on, and the reality that I was in, and the people who were present with me, who loved me and wanted my attention and my awareness and my time and my bandwidth. But when I had one foot in both places, I wasn't giving that to them. Because if I was in my mind thinking about things that needed to get accomplished or done, I wasn't being present with the conversation that I was having with them, or the activity or the adventure that we were having together. And so I just wanted to share this because I think that sometimes people, when they think about an anxiety disorder or an anxiety patterning of their nervous system, they don't look at some of the various different expressions of an anxiety pattern or an anxiety disorder. And part of an anxiety disorder or an anxiety pattern of the nervous system is that our nervous system is actually looking for danger. Our nervous system is looking for the next bad thing. And that doesn't mean that we're consciously doing that. But our nervous system is trying to be self-protective, and the way that it is choosing to self-protect is by searching for and looking for danger so that it can protect us against it. But what's really happening is that our awareness and our focus is constantly on the negative or the thing that needs to be adjusted or changed or bettered or progressed. And that is exhausting. It is exhausting. It is overactivity of our brain waves. And when we are in a high beta brainwave, when we are in that activated state of fight, flight, or freeze, and in this case, an anxiety pattern is almost always some fighty energy. And we move between them, right? But when you have hyperactivity, when you have your brain waves are in high beta, all sorts of things shift in your reality. So your digestive system isn't going to work as well, for example. And so if you are constantly in an activated state, if you are constantly seeking danger, looking for danger, because you're trying to protect yourself, then you're not going to sleep as well. Your digestion isn't going to be as smooth and healthy as it can be. Your respiratory rate is going to be higher than it should be. And all of those things have such a huge impact on your health and your mental health and your emotional health and your physical health. And really recognizing how frequently you are activated into your sympathetic nervous system in a fight, flight, or freeze response might blow your mind. And when you really learn how to dip into regulation and how to sink into safety, you're going to wish that you had done this a long time ago. If this sounds anything like you, if you are sitting here saying, yes, I am constantly doing, I am going from the laundries to the dishes, to cleaning up the kitchen, to going for a run, to checking my email, to unloading the dishwasher, to scheduling that meeting, to insert, right? Thing after thing after thing after thing. If you are constantly producing, if you are always trying to achieve, then you may really, really benefit from our Healing Anxiety Pattern workshop that starts in July. And we would love to have you join us and feel what regulation of your nervous system feels like. We really appreciate you being here with us at Rose Quartz Mediumship Podcast. And I hope that you have a beautiful morning, day, evening, or night, wherever it is that this podcast finds you.